Good morning, everyone. Bonjour. Alors, bienvenue à cette première session. Welcome to this first session. I know it's very early in the morning, but we have a very interesting and very dense 2 hours together to talk about these new models for customized medicine, this new approach. It is very important for those who were here yesterday at the opening session to understand that this BIOVISION 10th anniversary session is all about personalized medicine. Now, we call these new approaches the 4 Ps. We're talking about predictive, preventive, personalized, and also participatory medicines. And we're at a turning point in medicine because we have hurdles to cross in order to take these new ways of doing medicine and implement them into the systems that we have. This is a very complex task. We'll have hurdles at the political level, hurdles at the ethical level, and also hurdles in the structures. How do we implement these new strategies? So this morning, we'll have concrete examples, solutions, people that are thinking right now and doing things in order to implement these new strategies. Also, very important, I think, and I hope we'll hear that during the day, the important links between industry and the governments in order to implement these 4 Ps. And also the emerging countries. How do we get these countries to try and quickly, with quality and very low cost, implement these new structures? So let's go to business right now because we have 11 distinguished guests from all over the world. This is the way it's going to work. We'll have a general overview with 2 of our guests. Then we'll have a cancer section with 4 or 5 guests, and then we'll move on to general diseases. And if we have time, I hope, a question period from either people tweeting right now or from our specialists down here. So without further ado, let's start with a global view. I would like to ask Dr. Alain Baudet et Agnès Buzyn to come and join me right here. So you'll stay for the whole duration right here. Thank you. Agnès Buzyn is president of the National Institute of Cancer in France since 2011. She's an MD, specialist in hematology. Her specialty is bone marrow transplant. She worked at Hôpital Necker, beautiful hospital that I visited, very big. And she will talk about the cancer control plan in France that they want to implement. But we'll start with Dr. Alain Baudet, which is president of the CIHR, the Canadian Institutes of Health Research, very big organization in Canada where I come from, close to $1 billion worth of money given every year for research. Am I right? Over that. Good. That's good news for us. He has a very long and distinguished career as an MD, PhD at the Montreal Neurological Institute, the Neuro. He was head of Functional Neuroanatomy Lab and worked on neuropeptides and intracellular receptors. So we'll start with you. I will give you have that already? Great. We'll start with you, maybe to give us an overview of these 4 Ps. So we set the stage for the rest of the discussion. It's up to you. You have 7 minutes.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
So we'll get started right away. Can I have the first presentation? It's a pleasure being here today. So as you heard, I'm here to give you an overview of what
the microphone close to you, please. The microphone.
Can we have the slides on?
Yes.
There we are. Okay, perfect, great. So as I said, I'm here to give you an overview, and as you can see, this. An overview not only from the public side, but also from the funder side. How does the incredible evolution of the omics sciences, genomics, proteomics, have affected on not only healthcare, but also from a research perspective, and from a research funder's perspective, the way we fund health research. Obviously, the first consequence has been a tremendous increase in our investments in all genomics and I would say, largely omics sciences. But also not only do we increase our investment in those areas, but also the way we invest in those areas. These areas used to be highly competitive and pursued in isolation. More and more, what we're encouraging is participatory research, open access, participation into consortia, as obviously these are the avenues that are the most promising in the field. The other really striking change is that personalized medicine is too often seen as affecting mainly treatment and diagnosis, whereas actually it affects upstream prevention, and therefore the research in population and public health, the research on social determinants of health, but also downstream as it affects patient-oriented research and the participation of patients in taking their own lives into their hand, and of course research on health services and long-term care, because sometimes you can treat, other times actually because of precision medicine that you don't have an appropriate treatment, so that you have to develop appropriate long-term care. So if we just go very briefly through the 4 Ps, predictive, obviously the tools that the personalized medicine offers us now allow us to identify a number of susceptibility factors that are both genetic and epigenetic, and predictive biomarkers. Obviously, huge differences whether we're talking about risk factors or determinant genes, in which case, of course, you're talking about, on the one hand, statistics, or on the other hand, certainty. And that certainly will tremendously affect from an ethical standpoint, what you tell the patient, how you deal with the patient, and the type of genetic counseling that the patient will be amenable to. On the preventative side, well, it's quite clear that these methods enhance the accuracy and range of screening programs and allow us to very specifically make sure that patients at risk take the necessary steps to diminish these risks, or adopt a lifestyle that would allow a differential epigenetic influences on their predisposition that could delay or prevent the appearance of the disease. But it's quite clear also that this is modifying broadly our understanding of public health issues and the actions that we can take more broadly into affecting lifestyles of the population, because we are, as you know, identifying a number of epigenetic and environmental factors that will affect a large number of individuals. Personalized, I'll go very briefly on, because you'll hear a lot about the aspect of diagnostic and treatment, but obviously we're talking about stratification of diseases, stratification of treatments, and we'll hear about cancer and infectious diseases in particular, but also a huge impact on cardiovascular diseases as well. But this is really very much diagnosis and treatment and personalized and tailored treatment. It implies a reduction of side effects. It implies, through pharmacogenomics, the prevention of adverse reaction by treating specifically people that will respond or would not respond negatively to a treatment. But we have to realize that it has also major effects on the health systems, on healthcare systems, in that it gives patients a faster access to treatment. It can give patients a more rapid diagnosis, a treatment that is administered early in the game, and also a reduced invasiveness of the investigations. So finally, the participatory is really the whole change in society that personalized medicine is bringing. We're talking about e-apps that will now allow patients to monitor their own health and treatment responses, the self-management of their e-records, and of course the awareness of personal genetic profile with all the negative aspects that are linked to that. The fact that you can now on demand have your own genetic profiling may be seen as hugely advantageous, and in some cases indeed may be, but one has to ensure the quality of the profile provided and what the patient can actually do with it, and how advised the patient is to use this information, hence the importance of patient education and empowerment. So I'll conclude by just reading from a New England Journal of Medicine paper published in 2012, so a few years back already, by Mirnazami, Nicholson, and Darzi, How to Prepare for Precision Medicine, which I think summarizes everything I've been telling you today. Ultimately, precision medicine should ensure that patients get the right treatment at the right dose at the right time, with minimum ill consequences and maximum efficacy. But it will change how medicine is practiced and taught, and how healthcare is delivered and financed. Precision medicine will require handling of multi-parametric data and some proficiency in interpreting omics data, placing new demands on medical professionals who may be ill-equipped to deal with the anticipated complexity and volume of new information. Addressing these challenges will require effective clinical decision support tools and new educational models. I couldn't have said it better. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Baudet. Thank you. Okay, a very good summary. Now we understand where we're going, what are the challenges. Dr. Buzyn, you're going to focus, I think, on cancer. The government of France has a cancer control plan, rapid access to all for free with target therapies. You have 7 minutes, Dr. Buzyn, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you. So I will focus on precision medicine. I hope that one day it will be personalized medicine, but I think it's not personalized yet. So as you know, France has 3 cancer control plans. I'm sorry that the slides are not in the good shape. Okay, never mind. So France has 350,000 new patients every year. Half of them will die from cancer, and it's a main public health issue in France because it's the first leading cause of premature death. And 80,000 people could be, we could avoid 80,000 deaths per year. About 3 million people are surviving from cancer and living in France. And because of this public health issue, cancer is often chosen as a modeling disease, and especially for personalized medicine, guided by genomics. So there is a new paradigm in cancer treatment that has been anticipated through the several cancer control plans in France. As you know, molecular profiling of tumors is now necessary to guide treatments. Molecular abnormalities which are found in tumors can subdivide most frequent cancers in several rare entities. This is the case, this is the case, for example, of lung cancer, where many abnormalities have been found and are targeted by new therapies. Another paradigm is that these genetic abnormalities can be found in cancers from different organs. And so same target therapy can be used to treat several different tumors only based on the expression of the molecular target. So it's also a new paradigm that we had to take into account. So France has organized molecular genetic platforms to detect molecular abnormalities, and the objectives of these platforms was to be prepared to launch the new target therapies for the patients. And as you said, Dr. Baudet, the objective is to treat the right patient with the right drug, and I hope at the right moment. So we have 28 molecular genetic platforms, which are all over France. The idea is to have all the genetic molecular tests free of charge, wherever the patient is treated, public or private practice. And this is a program launched by the government and the National Cancer Institute. And now we have tested in 2013 75,000 patients for molecular abnormalities with 85,000 tests performed in 2013. The idea is to be very flexible and very rapid. So as soon as a new target therapy is coming into the market, we organize the test on the platforms. And as you can see, for KRAS, panitumumab or cetuximab were marketed in 2008, and we were able to perform 17,000 tests in 2009. The problem we have to face is the increasing number of molecular abnormalities. For example, lung cancer, we need now 9 different tests, but soon it will be 15, and the new drugs are coming into the market. So it's becoming more and more difficult to test gene per gene the abnormalities. So how to detect in patients all the actionable abnormalities to guide treatment restriction. And the idea is to move to a gene-by-gene approach to a sequencing approach with next-generation sequencing program on the genetic platforms. And this is the ambition of the new cancer control plan. We are now facing the arrival of all these new target therapies. 17 are in the market right now in France. Soon it will be 25, 35, 50. So we have now a gene-by-gene approach, but in 2017 we'll have only a target sequencing approach. And we hope to move to whole genome sequencing in 2019, which is the end of the plan, for more than 80,000 patients per year. As you know, the cost of sequencing has decreased those last year, and that gives the opportunity to sequence the genome of patients, but we have to face the volume of data. And this is a slide coming from IntegraGen, who has done the calculation. Genome sequencing gives 5 gigaoctet data. For 40,000 patients per year, we need 600 teraoctet data. And at a European level, it will be petaoctet data. And we don't know how to face that. The other problem we have to face, is the increasing number of compounds in the development. There is more than 6,000 molecules in the pipelines of pharmaceutical companies. A quarter of these molecules are dedicated to cancer. And in these molecules, now half of them are target therapies. So this is, for example, the pipeline that we have in the public-private partnership we have in INCA with industry to launch phase 1 and 2 clinical trials. We have already 50 molecules in the pipeline in our partnership, and soon it will be 100. And so there is an urgent need for new approaches for clinical trials, increasing number of target therapy, increasing number of rare cancers, cancer from different organs sharing the same abnormality, cancer treated successfully or in combinations with target therapies, and so clinical trials for the evaluation of target therapies in cancer must invent new designs. So we have, for example, performed the ACCES program in France, which is dedicated to favor access to target therapy to all patients with one abnormality, which is dedicated to a target drug. And for example, we have already tested 8,000 patients in France in this program and treated 150. To finish, this is the future paradigm of in-cancer treatment. I call it a solidarity network or solidarity loop. A patient will have to perform genomic analysis. Bioinformaticians will give us algorithm of treatment. We will treat patients through this algorithm, but we need the results of the treatment to be more clever and treat the next patients. So the new paradigm is this one. The treatment results of each patient will implement knowledge in the system and be useful for the treatment for all. And this paradigm is developed now in the US with the MATCH trial. But I think it's the only solution for precision medicine and moving to personalized medicine. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bizin. Thank you very much.